Hey everybody, and welcome back to Static Cast Gaming. And I just wanted to share my final attempt tonight, which is November 12th, trying to get a Sony PlayStation 5 digital edition um, from Walmart. I basically tried every single time today. Walmart put it on sale at 12 o'clock, then at 12 p.m., I should say, in the afternoon. And then, and this is Eastern time, by the way. Then they put it up again at 3 p.m., and then 6 p.m., and then finally 9 p.m., which is the one that you're seeing now. All of the attempts were the same. It just, as soon as the time hit, you could tell, like, I don't know if it's just from the sheer amount of people or if it's from the Scalper bots or, combination of it, but you can tell as soon as that clock, hit the time for it to go on sale, like the website just instantly just stopped responding. I tried refreshing the page multiple times, as you can see here, just to get the add to cart button to show up. And, I think this was actually the worst time ever, out of all the attempts I made today. But the furthest that I got on any attempt was, I was able to get it in my cart. But every time I hit checkout, clicked on checkout, it just ended up timing out over and over again until finally it just said it was out of stock and it just disappeared from the cart. So, but as you can see, it's definitely frustrating. I was trying to click back and go back in just to pull up the PlayStation 5 page, and the page was like pretty slow, but it's definitely, it was a genuine nightmare. I remember, all the people, back in October when the consoles were first getting, when they were first available for pre-sale, or pre-orders. I just remember everybody saying that this was what was happening to them. But everybody was trying other websites. They were trying, Best Buy. They were trying GameStop, Amazon. And, it seemed like a lot of people, they weren't even worried about Walmart. So I moseyed on over to Walmart and I got myself a Xbox Series X without even thinking about it. And I didn't even jump in right away. I tried I think by the time I actually ordered it, it was a good, like, almost 10 minutes or 11 minutes after the time, which I think they said it was like 11 o'clock, I think, at that point when Walmart started the pre-orders at that time. I went in about maybe 10 or 11 minutes after 11 and I still got one. And I think that's just because people just didn't pay Walmart any mind. But now it's the opposite. Walmart's the only store that really had anything for sale today that I know of that, and not only that, but they had multiple times that they specified for all to see. And, when you combine the fact that, everybody knew Walmart was getting, consoles out to people, and the fact that there's scalper bots out there and, there's multiple times in a day. And I'm not even sure if they even revealed how many they had available to sell. I didn't hear from anyone any specific number. For all we know, they're not even really selling a lot at a time. They might have been only selling 10 to 15 or, 20 at a time. Who knows? So, the bottom line was that this was, for me, a disappointing failure. But, I have to try and stay optimistic. Hopefully, maybe Black Friday, there might be a few that pop up in certain stores, or maybe before the holiday, before Christmas and all that. They might have, some that are still available, but, maybe not. Who knows? But, at least I did manage to get a Series X in here. My son, actually, I'm glad he's so cool. He was actually in here laughing at me while I was trying to order because he saw, you could even, when he saw this part where it actually was in my cart, I just kept clicking checkout, over and over again, and it just kept giving me errors, like this, sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Or I was getting the other one where it comes up with the reindeer antlers, that, everybody, everybody North Pole is trying to get, deals today or something like that. And I didn't give up for a while. I just kept trying, over and over again. And then finally, as you'll see, it ends up just eventually disappearing and my cart just shows nothing. It says it's out of stock. And, that's where I finally just had to acquiesce to defeat. So, I'm sure I'm not the only one who experienced this. And, there's a lot of people out there that are super angry at Walmart right now. I mean, I guess it's not completely their fault because, like I said, nobody really gave Walmart, the time of day when the pre-orders were out. And, a lot of the people that went to Walmart got their consoles that day. And now it's the complete opposite. Everybody else is sold out and Walmart was getting completely, attacked. And I'm sure, though, that the Scalper bots had a lot to do with it. I don't know if any of you went on eBay, but, if you go on eBay right now, just look up PS5 or Xbox Series X. I mean, they're just selling them for like double the amount that they're worth or even more, or they're just trying to sell bundles for like $2,000 with a control, the extra controller or something like that, or accessories. It's just ridiculous. If anybody's listening to this at all, I'm sure we can agree, no matter how desperate you are, I don't think any of these people, these scalpers don't deserve your hard-earned money. If they want to sit there and buy 10 or 12 of these things and try to mark them up, let them just sit on them and let them sit in their house or their garage or whatever, their little shop that they have these things in, and just let them, figure out what to do with them, and don't give them your money because they don't deserve it. To me, I think that's just, it's not really illegal, I think, what they're doing, but it's definitely not ethical. You shouldn't be trying to, that's like somebody, like when you're in a physical store, that you're just butting in line and taking something out of their cart and then you're paying for it first at the register. And, people shouldn't be allowed to do that. If something's in my cart, that should be mine. It shouldn't be, I shouldn't have something in my cart that isn't really there. If something's in my cart, it should be reserved for me, during my session. When I'm actually creating a session with the server, there's a unique identifier that identifies me, that should be mine if it's in my cart, so the fact that there's people, doing this, I do wish that these retailers had like maybe, some advanced captchas, as much as I don't like them because sometimes they're hard to figure out and, they mess you up sometimes. But just to prevent something like this from happening, we're living in an age where security is so important, and, you would think that they would have something on there to stop scalper bots from being able to make orders online. I know that it's hard to stop like denial of service attacks. And I think that's how scalper bots really kind of work. They kind of flood the servers, but it allows the user to, go in and still make a purchase and stuff like that, while it's blocking everybody else from the server load. But I don't know 100% exactly how they work, but I think that's basically in a generic sense, that's how they work. And I know it's hard to, from in a technical sense to try to completely stop something like that, because the most, advanced companies in the world like Google and Microsoft, Sony, they've all, succumbed to denial of service attacks. They might be able to recover from them more quickly, but they're just almost impossible to stop. So I can't really 100% blame Walmart, but I do wish they would at least have, instead of just doing it in spurts like this, just kind of said that it would be available today and just let people go in there and try and buy it, because when you just go up there and you give the exact times for every single slot, you're just arming people to go in and, start spamming, using scalp bots and all this stuff, and it's just too much. And I felt like today I honestly just didn't stand a chance. I could barely even get anything to load. And then as you can see here, eventually it just finally shows $0. My cart's empty. And then there's 2 items saved for later from another one that I tried earlier. So there's 2 of them in there. So, it was basically an unfortunate failure. I did try to go in on my cell phone, and, it didn't really matter using the Walmart app. It was the same thing. But, for anybody that did manage to get one today, I congratulate you. And for anybody who's in my position, I feel your pain. Whatever you do, don't buy anything from these evil scalpers that are trying to take all your money. Let's just try and wait and see when we get our next chance. Hopefully there'll be at least 1 or 2 more chances before the end of the year to try and order them from another store or something. All right, everybody, have a good one.